farewell. We're just ending this early, just right now. We're gonna leave now. Bye.
Yeah, well, it's goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
See you tomorrow.
If you've ever seen Hello Dolly, it's a hilarious. Oh my heavens.
I think I have seen Hello Dolly, but I don't remember a lot about it.
Yeah. The movie is about a woman trying to play matchmaker, and she has her eyes set on this guy who has really done well for himself, and how she convinces him to fall in love with her.
Oh,
and, yeah.
I remember. I remember the love that she sets up for his employees.
Right. But the whole thing is to make sure that she is the one that he falls in love with. And at the end of it, she says, "You go your way and I'll go mine." And he doesn't catch that until he... Right.
The most thing I remember about Hello Dolly is the guys... they go into a dance competition because they all forget their money.
Right.
And then they essentially book it out of the restaurant in a scene of chaos and don't have to pay.
Yeah.
Which is potentially illegal. Okay,
Yeah,
illegal,
but
still.
the wealthy man takes care of everything. So,
That's good.
Yeah.
Also, I remember distinctly that one guy had a horse go in front of his face and he did not blink.
A what?
Oh, there's an early point in the song. It takes a woman...
Oh.
And there's a scene where a horse moves its head towards another character and he doesn't flinch or blink.
Huh. Okay.
That was something that I remember being pointed out to me, and I remember rewinding it a few times, just watching that scene, and it was on a VHS tape. Anyways, now that the sidetrack is over,
let's get into David and Jonathan saying goodbye, because that's what all of this is about.
Yeah, Samuel chapter 20.
All right. Was it my turn this time?
I have no idea.
I'll just go ahead. Our Father in heaven, we thank thee very much that we have this chance to be together. We thank thee for this chance to study thy word and to learn about what thou wouldst have us to know. Please bless us to share and know all of the things that we need to do. And please help those that are listening to this, that they will learn good things and be able to understand thy love for them better. And we say these things and do so humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Alrighty. So, 1 Samuel chapter 20. David and Jonathan make a covenant of friendship and peace. And this actually is honored by David throughout the rest of his life. So that's really awesome. And then they take leave of each other.
And David fled from Naoth
Good enough.
in Ramah and came and said, and came and said before Jonathan, "What have I done? What is mine iniquity? And what is my sin before thy father, that he seeketh my life?"
And honestly, this is...
Understandable questioning.
Yeah, this is an abusive man who has not dealt with his own fears and trauma and past, who has decided to focus on this person who is doing better than him. And there's also the old story, the old understanding of when you have an evil spirit in you and you start dealing with someone that is a good and righteous and honorable person, the evil spirit tries to cast out the good.
Another thing that is often seen, it's a bit of a trope now, but somebody who is genuinely good and kind and does not point themselves out a lot gets trodden down under the foot by somebody else in power and who believes that they are better than that person. And then whenever everything starts falling apart because the kindness and goodness and the skill of that one person has left, they point all their anger and hatred at the person that they dismissed instead of looking internally and realizing they are the problem. And that is a common human nature thing. It's something to work on.
The person who has been the victor and the great man who suddenly has someone coming in as they age You know, look at
Or somebody's support that they believe is undermining them.
yeah, but
That's actually helping them succeed.
look at any athlete that has done very well, and then, athletes age. You have 5 to 10 years of really, really prime capacity, depending on the person and the sport and so forth. And then somebody else comes in who is capable of doing as well as they did or better. And
Jealousy.
exactly.
That is also a common trope where the
Right.
original athlete starts trying to undermine the new athlete.
Right. And so we have
Unfortunately,
Really?
that trope would not exist if that thing didn't actually happen in real life.
true.
Or was even possible.
this is really all of those things we just mentioned are what Saul is doing with David. He's been the head honcho, and now David is getting
More praise.
and David is doing better than him. David is a much more righteous person and is carrying himself honorably and having the Spirit of God with him. And Saul is just sitting there going, I can't handle this.
That's kind of the reason it is a trope, because it happens so commonly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Stories and in real life.
Yeah.
it is very unfortunate that it happens so often. But that's human nature for you.
Yeah, and that's part of why it's put in stories so much, is because it's so believable,
Because it's so common.
Yeah, because we have
That's
people are selfish. People just that's the way it goes.
War doesn't change because human nature is the thing that truly doesn't change.
Yeah.
Look at some of the reasons for murders. It's literally just, I got jealous of this person.
Or pride, or greed,
Yeah,
etc.
So,
Heck, lust, it's very often at times.
sexual promiscuity or the lack thereof is very much so a big thing, because if you're married, this is my wife, how could you sleep with her? She wanted to. You're dead.
I
Or
think we need to do the laundry.
yeah, we'll do that in a minute. Anyhow, why'd you rape my wife? There's another one that's even worse.
I've heard some other stories where guys trick two ladies into believing that he's married to them,
Oh,
and they
geez.
don't know about the other.
Oh, where he's living a double. Yeah, I've having 2 marriages at the same time.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
That will eventually come to bite you. That's why karma kind of exists.
Yeah, well, there was an NCIS, I think, where somebody put a bomb into a car and it blew up under someone else because they didn't wire it quite right, and it came back to she had found out that her husband was married to someone else, and she was trying to kill him, but because she didn't wire it quite right, the wire contacted when it was underneath. Actually, it was a police officer, I think.
Ew.
Yeah, so she went to jail for a long time. But
Not
that was just an NCIS story, so
Nonetheless,
it's very easily based on a real event because of how much this happens.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyways, number 2.
And he said unto him, pronouns.
Jonathan said
Yes,
to David.
Yes, exactly. God forbid, thou shalt not die. Behold, my father will do nothing, either great or small, but that he will show it me. And why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so.
And David sware moreover and said, Thy father certainly knoweth that I have found grace in thine eyes. And he saith, Let not Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved. But truly as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, there is but a step between me and death.
Then said Jonathan unto David, finally, they don't use pronouns. Whatsoever thy soul desireth, I will even do it for thee.
I was holding that one. And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I shall not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the 3rd day at even.
So he's going to... There is a banquet that will happen at the first of the month with the new moon. So everyone is expected to be there, especially those that are in the king's specific service, which David should still be in, since he's a general and in the army and whatever.
Yeah.
So he's going to hide himself and not be at the meal. And he's saying to Jonathan, if thy father at all miss me, Then say, David earnestly asked leave of me that he might run to Bethlehem his city, for there is a yearly sacrifice there for all the family.
If he say, thus it is well that thy...
If he say thus, if he says the following.
It is well thy servant shall have peace, but if he be very wroth, then be sure that evil is determined by him.
So this is how we're going to know if Saul is ready to reconcile and not have this anger anymore.
And be in the right mind space.
Right. Or not.
Yeah.
Therefore thou shalt deal kindly with thy servant, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of the Lord with thee. So they have made a covenant. Oh yeah, there's the continuation of it in Samuel 21. Yeah, 2 Samuel 21. Oh, oops, I hit the wrong button. Okay. Of the Lord with thee, notwithstanding, if there be in me iniquity, slay me thyself. For why shouldst thou bring me to thy father?
And Jonathan said, far be it from thee, for if I knew certainly that evil were determined by my father to come upon thee, then would I not tell thee? Would not I tell thee? My bad.
Yeah. Then said David to Jonathan, who shall tell me? Or what if thy father answer thee roughly?
And Jonathan said unto David, come and let us go out into the field. And they went out, both of them, into the field. Archery.
And Jonathan said unto David, O Lord God of Israel, when I have sounded my father about tomorrow any time, or the third day, and behold, if there be good toward David, and then I send not unto thee, and show it thee.
The Lord do so, and much more to Jonathan. But if it please my father to do thee evil, then I will show it thee, and send thee away, that thou mayest go in peace, and the Lord be with thee, as he hath been with my father.
So this is Jonathan saying, I'm going to figure out how to tell you that you're safe and everything's at peace, or if it's not. And thou shalt not only while yet I live, show me the kindness of the Lord, that I die not.
But also thou shalt not cut off thy kindness from my house forever. No, not when the Lord hath cut off the enemies of David, every one from the face of the earth.
So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies.
And Jonathan caused David to swear again, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul.
So they are...
brotherly love.
Yes, they are truly... As it says in the previous chapter, their hearts are knit together. They truly care about each other, and they want to see each other.
Brothers in arms.
Yeah. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty.
And when thou hast stayed 3 days, then thou shalt go down quickly, and come to the place where thou didst hide thyself when the business was in hand, and shalt remain by the stone easel.
Okay.
Okay.
The Ebenezer stone,
Yeah, okay.
So it may not be that one, but it's
Similar.
It's a stone of importance. And I will shoot 3 arrows on the side thereof. Please don't stand in front of it.
What's that noise? David, why?
Or no, Jonathan. Jonathan's the one that's shooting the arrows.
Yeah, but David would be shouting, why did you do that? I told you to stay behind the rock.
Yeah.
I wanted to peek. You lost one of your eyes for that.
Yeah, or worse.
Yeah.
And I will shoot 3 arrows on the side thereof, as though I shot at a mark.
And behold, I will send a lad, saying, go find out the arrows. If I expressly say unto the lad, behold, the arrows are on this side of thee, take them, then come thou, for there is peace to thee, and no hurt, as the Lord liveth. That still does not make sense to me.
Okay, so after I shoot the arrows, I'm going to send my lad out, and he will run to get the arrows. If I say to him, they're close by, they're on this side of the rock, then please understand that this is a safe thing. My father is fine with everything, and you can come back and everything will be safe.
Okay.
But, 22, if I say thus unto the young man, behold, the arrows are beyond thee, go thy way, beyond the rock. Then, David, go thy way, for the Lord hath sent thee away.
Okay. My brain wasn't processing that correctly,
Right.
but now I realize the reason that by saying that, he's also probably saying
This is our code.
not just that, but the rock isn't that far away, so I should be in earshot.
True.
Yeah, because I always imagine this being far away, and
I did too.
I can't hear them. What am I supposed to do?
Okay, well, like we talked about with Goliath, you can yell loud enough to be heard 100+ feet away. The rock could have been 100 feet away, which is a reasonable distance for an arrow. But we have David hidden behind a rock, and this gives Jonathan an excuse to yell by sending out his boy, servant, whatever. So the boy's going to run out, and Jonathan's going to yell, "Hey, little further!" Or little closer, or whatever.
Yeah, okay. And as touching the matter which thou and I have spoken of, behold, the Lord be between thee and me forever.
23. As touching the matter which thou and I have spoken of, behold...
I already did 23. It's 24 for you.
Sorry. Yes, okay. 24. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat.
And the king sat upon his seat at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. So
again, meat, just like with the sacrifices, doesn't always mean he had a roast of chicken, cow, pig, whichever. Mm-hmm. It could mean that he had a plate of bread and other things.
Yep. Meat was just something that they used to represent food.
Right. Or especially grains, because that was the more common food.
And that was the meat that allowed them to live, essentially. It was the staple.
Right. So it was, the meat was the staple. Mm-hmm. And the king sat upon his seat as at other times.
That's 26.
I'm sorry,
You're good.
We
You're
were
good.
talking. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something hath befallen him. He is not clean, surely he is not clean.
And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the 2nd day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meat, neither yesterday nor today?
And Jonathan answered Saul, David earnestly asked leave of me to go to Bethlehem.
And he said, Let me go, I pray thee, for our family hath a sacrifice in the city, and my brother he hath commanded me to be there. And now if I have found favor in thine eyes, let me get away, I pray thee, and see my brethren. Therefore he cometh not unto the king's table.
And again, we don't know where Saul was. Was Saul in Jerusalem or not? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Where was his palace, if he had one at all?
Well, it
he
could
probably had something, but
it could have been just a house. But still, he's going to have
something.
Several people there at his dinner party. So, anyhow, but Jerusalem and Bethlehem are less than a day's walk away, if I remember correctly. So, this wasn't a huge distance, and everything could have been figured out. But if he was not in Jerusalem because he was in the tribe of Benjamin's area, he could have been further away. So who knows? Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan. Oh boy. And
what?
Yeah, really. I mean, that's
probably what he said first.
Or something similar.
Yeah.
Was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, Thou son of the... Ooh! Dang!
Oh.
Thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman. Dude!
That's an insult!
My wife is an absolute...
Yep.
Dude! That's mean.
Keep going.
Do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion, and to the confusion of thy mother's nakedness? Dang.
Now that I'm fully hearing and understanding that, I'm like, what?
Yeah, so Saul is so jacked up.
He's cursing both his son and his wife.
Yeah.
Jinx.
That takes some serious messed up brain.
Yeah, so Jonathan, I think he's mad.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Whew.
For as long as the son of Jesse liveth upon the ground, thou shalt not be established, nor thy kingdom. He's saying, I'll cut you off from your inheritance.
Yeah, he might even kill you.
Wherefore now send and fetch him unto me, for he shall surely die.
And Jonathan answered Saul his father and said unto him, Wherefore shall he be slain? What hath he done?
And Saul cast a javelin at him to smite him. Oh, you weren't kidding. Whereby Jonathan knew that it was determined of his father to slay David. Jonathan, run.
Yeah. I mean, this is a perfect example of why so many people who have decided to live a way that isn't godly. I mean, well,
Even us, we have problems every now and then.
yeah, but we know a person who moved away from here. Long story, doesn't really matter, but they put something up on Facebook that I replied to in a very calm, kind way, because they were talking about something that doesn't really matter. I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay.
They made one statement, and I said, well, we all believe in God. And they came back with, how could you say that? I don't believe in the same God as that and all this. And it's like, huh? Why? How? Where did this come from?
I don't... somebody really moved away from us because of that?
No. They have a political view that is not the same as us. And I was trying to be nice and loving and say, we all believe in God, so let's see what we can work out and agree on here. And they came back with, I refuse to accept that I believe in the same God that person does.
Okay.
And
but they moved away from here.
long ago
Okay.
for other reasons.
Okay.
But this is the same kind of a thing. They have obviously been being pulled into the lie that this certain group of people are bad people because...
Inherently bad because they believe or
Right.
look a certain way. That's kind of why we had issues in the past revolving
Yes.
around skin tone.
Yes, but this is something different. So, it was
Similar
really-
results, different source.
right, and I can see that same kind of thing happening here, where Saul is just going, I have, like we talked about earlier just now, I have all of these things that David's doing better than me, and I can't accept that he can still be alive because I am so caught up with the spirit of evil that I can't have someone who is doing better than me and who is living a more godly life than me be a
This
good
close,
person.
or this close to me.
Yeah, because it is something that makes me mad, because when the
challenges
spirit within
power.
you is evil and you have a good person trying to do good, that creates a dichotomy of I can't work with
I
this.
think I've seen that in modern era where many people see somebody else doing something good and kind and they verbally and sometimes physically attack said person
Right.
because they are being good and kind.
Right.
It's a sad state that a lot of
Yeah.
that is happening. 34 for you.
Right. So Jonathan arose from the table.
In fierce anger?
Well, I was about to say, in fear, because he just had a javelin thrown at him,
Yeah.
and he's pretty ticked off about it.
Yeah.
And did eat no meat the second day of the month, for he was grieved for David because his father had done him shame. Wow. His father had created, because his father had created shame and all this, and he had just threatened his life.
Oh.
What the bleep are you trying to do?
Also, earlier you mentioned that this is probably a dinner party, so there's a lot of people present.
Oh, yeah.
Whew, how many people witnessed that, and how long does the grapevine travel?
Oh, my heavens. It probably didn't take very long for this to be spread throughout the nation.
Yep. And it came to pass in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field at the time appointed with David, and a little lad with him.
And he shot his arrows. And he said unto his lad, Run, find out now the arrows which I shoot. Oh. He tells him to start running, and he shoots the arrows over him. And as the lad ran, he shot an arrow beyond him.
And when the lad was come to the place of the arrow which Jonathan had shot, Jonathan cried after the lad, said, "Is not the arrow beyond thee?"
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say behind for some reason. I'm sorry.
I saw that myself. I started saying that. And Jonathan cried after the lad, "Make speed! Haste! Stay not!" And Jonathan's lad gathered up the arrows and came to his master.
But the lad knew not anything. He was probably confused as, why do you want me to go so fast? But, yeah. Only Jonathan and David knew the matter.
Read the next one.
And Jonathan gave his artillery unto the lad and said unto him, Go carry them into the city.
So, yeah, this was... The boy saw where they landed, and he went to them, but Jonathan was yelling at him, "Go fast, hurry up, run!"
Yeah.
And that was
the signal.
Yeah, the signal, and not only that, he didn't say just go beyond. He said hurry and go beyond. So David got a pretty big hint there. And as soon as the lad was gone, David arose out of a place toward the south and fell on his face to the ground and bowed himself 3 times. And they kissed one another and wept one with another until David exceeded.
And by kiss, it does not mean on the lips.
Yes.
There's a
Cheeks.
Jewish thing where they...
Well, heck, anywhere in Europe, you meet each people by kissing on each cheek. I had a person do that to me, and I had no understanding of why, and I was just sitting there going, thank you.
Brain stall.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, especially since she was pretty, but you know.
Understanding cultures is an important thing within context.
Yes, anyhow.
Because for those who do not understand that context, probably think of other things, and we all know what that thought is.
Yes, but either way, they hugged each other and
bro hug.
Until David exceeded. Jonathan was like, David, you got to stop now.
They were probably crying.
Both of them were, but David was probably
bawling
and carrying it to excess because he honestly, I can't completely blame him, but
he's probably fearing for Jonathan's life.
Partially, but mostly he's just sad that he knows that now that he will never be free from Saul hunting him. Mm-hmm. And so he is sitting there crying until Jonathan goes, David, you got to stop. You need to leave.
Before somebody sees you.
That too. And David just didn't want to stop because he was so caught up in being sad about Saul hating him so completely.
Can't blame the guy.
No, I can't blame him either. I just read 41. So go ahead and
Jonathan said to David, Go in peace, for as much as we have sworn both of us in the name of the Lord, saying, The Lord be between me and thee, and between thy seed, my seed and thy seed forever. And he arose and departed, and Jonathan went into the city.
David arose and departed. Anyhow, so this is as much about the covenant of love and caring between Jonathan and David as it is about anything else. But also this sets into acknowledgement or sets into understanding that Saul is now going to start hunting David. And this next chapter is hard. But
on one hand, there's no modern weapons, so he's got that going for him. And two, it's not the Hunger Games, at least in the movie sense and book sense. This is admittedly, this is Saul hunting down David, so in the sense it is Hunger Games in that regard, but still.
But David gets help from Ahimelech because David is not alone. He actually has some people who are in his close group following him around, and I don't remember if it's 10 or 100, but it's more than a few people.
I always imagine him running on his own and hopping into and hitchhiking, but that's not usually what happens.
Really, he has a fairly decent group of people. At one point, I think he gets close to 1,000 people around him, something like that. Yeah, he has a lot of help, but he goes and gets help from the priest at the tabernacle, and or maybe it's some. Anyhow, I don't remember.
We'll address that tomorrow.
Yeah, but Ahimelech actually dies. The priest actually dies because he helped him because Saul is so caught up in I got to destroy anybody who's helping David, and
Yep.
it really is.
We'll address that tomorrow.
Yep.
For now, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Yep.
And we'll continue from there. Bye.
Bye-bye.